Hey, welcome everyone to Find the Born Leaders Within You. Obviously, you already know what that's the name of the group. I'm waiting on Samuel to join me. Hope everyone's doing really well. Pretty sure you are. You're joining, you're live or watching on the replay, let us know. I'm just going to be adding Samuel, our guest, going from zero to hero. Funny enough, I don't know what's going on with Facebook because every time I put Samuel's name in, it doesn't come up. Interesting. Samuel, maybe you might need to request to say you're joining. Okay. Hello everyone joining in. That's gonna have to do something different. Cause there we go. Approve. So delay maybe because it's just the fact that you joined the group recently. Hey,
Hello, hello.
can you hear me okay?
Yep, all good, man.
Brilliant. Let's go.
I'm like
Let's
out
go.
of breath here. I just came back from my workout, my first workout of the day. And I'm like, oh man, I'm ready.
Okay. That's good to know, man. That's actually good to know, actually. What time is it over there in the States?
Good question, bro. It's 12 o'clock over here.
So, like, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna just like everyone. This is Samuel Mojica. My happens to be my mentor as well. Brilliant young man. He's done a lot of things. He's gonna be sharing his story with you real soon. We're running a bit behind on time. How's my camera looking? Because the lighting's not that great. But
I mean, it looks fine to me, man. You're inside a car, right?
yeah, I'm in the car. Yeah, good. All right, so let's go.
Yep, looks
So,
good
so,
there.
so Samuel Mojica, we've been talking about this for some time. We've been talking about this for like over, was it 3 months, like 4 months to say, hey, get me on the
I
interview,
know,
man.
man.
Get me on the interviews. I'm like, we finally made it happen. I just want to share something. Samuel Mojica is like, he's got a heart of gold, man. He's serious. He's helping people all the time. He's doing a hell of a lot more than people probably imagine he's doing. Sometimes when I think about it, this guy's like a super being. Like he's just doing so much, you know. And
Yeah, I'm just
he,
trying to do as much as I can, man.
I know. So
As
like,
much as I
I'm just gonna
can.
say, Samuel's joining us from where about in the States are you again? Remind people don't know where you're
I'm in
coming from.
Florida, Miami, Florida, where it's
Miami,
hot.
Florida. Whoa. So like I want to ask you, yeah, break the ice kind of thing, like how do you start your morning?
I love
What's
it. We're
your
getting straight
progression?
into it.
How do you start your morning straight
Yep.
in?
Yep. So I'll be honest, man. Everyone has a different routine, right? So it's just about choosing your routine. My routine is typically I wake up, use the bathroom like every other human being, and then immediately after I go for my first 45-minute walk. Why? Because I'm taking a challenge now where I have to do 2 workouts a day, and one of my workouts is a walk. Now, for me personally, I used to be a fat man, right? So walking was the hardest part of my day. I always either forgot or I would leave it to the end. So I said, you know what? One of my mentors that I follow very closely, Andy Frisella, he's a big preacher of do the hardest things first. For me, the hardest thing is going on my 45-minute walk every morning. So that's what I just commit every morning. The moment I wake up, I go brush my mouth. I go downstairs, take my multivitamins, take a couple sips of my water, and I put on a podcast. Usually it's either a podcast episode of the motherfucking CEO project from Andy Frisella, because that gets my mindset in the right place for the day, or it's an hour-long video of training from Jordan Belfort, because I do sales. I'm a professional salesman, right, for influencers. So I spend an hour while I'm walking learning something with my little funny. I spoke about this yesterday on a live, with my little notebook and a pen in my pocket. So as I'm listening to the training or as I'm listening to the podcast, my walk is productive. Not only is it productive health wise, it's productive mentally as well, because now I can take notes, get back home and implement it. The moment I get home, I implement. So that's basically my morning. But every morning starts. I try to. It's good to just have a routine, right? I try to stick to that every single morning. Well, I stick to it every. I have to stick to it every morning. I'm on a challenge.
What's the challenge called?
It's called 75 Hard. It doesn't cost money, but it isn't free, as Andy Frisella put it, right? Because it's one of the hardest challenges out there. Not even physically. Physically, it's pretty easy. It's 2 45-minute workouts a day. You get used to that after like 2 or 3 weeks, right? But it's a mental challenge, right? Because you're committing to a couple of tasks, and if you don't finish those tasks, you got to start over. Now, I'm competitive. I hate losing. And I hate, more than losing, I hate having to start something over. I absolutely hate it. So I commit, right? You make a commitment. You know what? I'm going to work out for 45 minutes twice a day. I'm going to drink a gallon of water. For some people, they fail here, right? They make this hard. You have to wake up early. Because if you wake up late and you sleep in, it's really, you have to chug this thing. So I try to wake up early because I need to chug this throughout the day, right? You need to read 10 pages of a book, of a personal development book, and which is easy for most of us. I mean, I read easily. I can easily read a book, in just a couple of days. But 10 pages of active reading, taking notes, listening, really paying attention and just reading. And there's one more thing on the challenge I'm missing, and the gallon of water. There's another thing I'm forgetting, but it's all good. I have it written down somewhere. Whatever. So that's basically the challenge. So I stick to that. I make my morning coffee. And yeah, and that's it. And we go, and we just hit the training after.
So no breakfast?
My breakfast is after I do my cardio. For 45 minutes is my protein shake. So I just make I used to talk about this on a Facebook story. I had a friend of mine teach me a very, very good formula for protein shakes, where it's a protein shake with almond milk, regular milk. It has a little bit of chocolate powder in it. It's delicious, right? And it gives me my morning protein. It keeps me full for most of the day because it has coffee in it, right? So it's protein. It gives me my morning calories of a regular breakfast. It gives me everything I need, plus my coffee, so I get the energy. And it's not like a lot of coffee. It's good, and you find a sweet spot for yourself, right? So it's very personalized. I found a sweet spot for myself. How much coffee for me? Right, that would give me the energy I need, but will also keep me from crashing. And once you find that, like, that's my breakfast, Brian. And I just, that sustains me for 4 to 5 hours before my next meal.
Okay, so that goes on.
It's a hack to lose weight.
I haven't been shake Saint me right now, but shaking it. I have a banana for breakfast. I have a banana first thing before I even open my eyes. Gratitude, giving thanks, affirmations. That's how I start my day. It's very interesting. Everyone has a different way of starting a day. No 2 days, no way when people wake up in the morning start the same. Everyone has a different type of way. Let us know how you start your day. Let us know what you're thinking of the video. Let us know if you can hear us okay. Also, let us know if you're watching on the replay or you're watching live. Let us know where in the world you're watching as well. So, Samuel, I want to know, and I'm sure the audience wants to know, your childhood. Is it anything different from where you are now? Did you visualize when you was younger where you're at now? Or
visualize. Dude, like I would like to think that I had a normal childhood, right? Where, my family we grew up lower middle class. I had some good friends growing up, went to school, right? Had a this typical experience at school. It wasn't until high school that I really started thinking, like, wow, I want to be rich. Just out of nowhere. It's like, wow, I really want to be rich. Like, I want to have options, right? And I know rich means something different to everyone, but I want to be rich money-wise, right? And abundant. Like, as a high schooler, that's normal. Like, that's all you're thinking as a high schooler. Like, I just want to be rich. But I didn't know how I was going to go about that. So I didn't really study. Like, I would have, if I were to give myself advice, if I knew myself from high school and I knew this young man, he wanted to be rich, I would have done what I'm doing now with kids that are in high school. I would have actually gotten them started in sales. And I would have told them, all right, Sam, look, there's a training that's $20 a month. Go to your mom and tell her, Mom, there's something I know what I want to do with my life, but I need $20 a month. And your mom's going to say yes. She's going to ask you what, not mom, I'm going to learn how to do sales. It's going to change my life. I would have just told them exactly that. That's what I do now with high schoolers, right? I have high schoolers approach me all the time. I guess because I'm young, I'm close to their age. I'm 22. And when they asked me, like I had a young guy, 17 years old, literally 2 days ago, he came up to me. He's like, Sam, like, what should I do, man? Like, I want to start a business. I want to do something with my life. And I love you inspire me with the fact that you're doing some of the things I want to do. Where do I start? And I told him this. I spent 30 minutes giving him my best advice, my best value. And then I finally ended with this. Do you have $20? Yes. There's a training that I study every single morning. There's actually 2 trainings. One's 99, one's 20, right? Cardone University and the Wolf Network from Jordan Belfort. Why? Because those are at least through the numbers, those are the 2 best salesmen globally in the world, right? That have created the most millionaires, right? That's why I study them both, right? Because they both fill in each other's gaps. So I told him, do you have 99 or do you have 20? He's like, oh, Sam, I could do 20. You know, I'm a high schooler, but I have allowance money. I can afford 20. All right, you're going to get started today. I'm going to give you some homework. Every day you have to come to me and answer these 3 questions from those videos, right? Now it's on you. You don't have to do this. My life doesn't get changed or affected whatsoever, whether you succeed or not. But this is what I wish I knew at your age. If you get started, you're going to be way more farther. And funny enough, 3 days later, every day he's answering the 3 questions I told him to answer. Every day he's watching videos. Every day he's implementing. I'm actually, if he can get through 30 to 60 days of just doing this consistently, I'll probably end up giving him a sales position. If I'm closing sales for influencers, I constantly have hundreds of people to call on the phone every day. I'm going to end up probably hiring this young kid. And I'm going to, even for good or bad, if he proves to me that he can actually get through the skill sets and have discipline and commit, then I'm going to end up giving him a position as a salesman so he can actually make money using his skills, right? So it's pretty cool, man. I'll be honest, I forgot your question already, but
no, you've like, it's just you. You just give so much value. The question was your childhood, you know, what was
got
your
it.
vision?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so you
Yeah,
did
so
go into
that's
that.
basically it, man. Yeah,
It's
high
live,
school,
man. It's
wanted to
all
be
good.
rich. Yeah, I wanted to be rich. After high school, I got lazy as hell. Literally played video games for 2 years. 2 years of just living with my mom, playing video games, wasting my life. And around that time, you know, is when I got a job at a bread factory. Now, many people don't know this. You're gonna hear about the bread factory later on in my story because it's the second time that really hit home. The first time I was there for about 3 months. I saved up $3,000. I quit because I don't know, I quit, right? And I went back to playing video games. Then I got into binary options, trading, right? Now, funny enough, I lost the $3,000 within 1 hour. Why? Because I was greedy, I was young, I was stupid, I was dumb, amateurish, right? I'm like, oh, I'm gonna bet it all on one trade and I'm gonna become I'm gonna have $10,000, right? And I lost it all. And imagine, it took easily 200 hours of hard work at a bread factory to get that $3,000 gone in 1 hour. Like, it was heavy. But funny enough, hindsight is 50-50, right? When I look back on it, I'm glad that happened. Because that was the first time I faced a major failure in my life. Because when I lost that money, you're literally like this. You're like this. You're like, for like at least 5 or 10 minutes, just. And
Do you
then
know
all the
what?
nerves, like, dude, it's
I
crazy,
share
right?
a
Like, listen.
similar story, except for not young.
Uh-huh.
My last paid role where I was working, I was putting my money on Forex and I was losing
Yeah.
my whole month's salary in like less than like sometimes 5 minutes, or I might
Yeah, dude,
fall asleep
it's
because
crazy.
I fall asleep and I forgot to put the stop loss
Yeah.
on and I've lost it all. Sometimes three,
Dude, look,
five
it's
times the
funny.
amount.
Mhm.
And then you're in
It's
debt.
funny,
And then
Heather. Yeah, Heather just said I would have cried. Like, listen to this, man. Listen to this, Andrew. So I looked at my screen for 10 minutes, and then I literally said, what the fuck did I just do? And I'm like, and then from there, you just see tears. Just tears are coming down like, I just blew all my money in an hour. Like, and literally, then you start to realize, I worked so hard for that. You start to really value time and money. Like, holy shit, I worked so hard for this money, all this stuff, and I lost it all. Most people would have quit there, but that actually inspired me, right? Because I woke up the next day saying, all right, that was a good lesson, but I feel like I can make something. So I ended up, I searched around the internet and I found somebody teaching trading. And, I went up to my mom. This guy was charging $100 to mentor people. I took $100 and, I asked my mom for $100. She gave it to me. I got a mentor for trading. And then, long story short, I became a full-time Forex trader for over a year, making a full-time income. But then after that is when things changed, because then the whole homeless thing happened, right? Which we'll get into that later. But then, I ended up losing most of my money and having to start back from ground zero. And that is where my real journey started. So it was a buildup, man. My childhood was normal, wanted to be rich. I tried getting rich quick, and I got my ass got humbled for trying to get rich quick, right? And then I don't want to spoil anything, so we'll leave it there.
So, any role models?
Growing up, Grant Cardone. It's funny. I have all his posters right behind me.
Yeah.
It's funny. Funny enough, let me see if I can turn my camera so I can show you something real quick. You got GC watching right now. Okay. I'm actually, that wall is actually going to be framed. I'm going to have a cutout picture like that of all my mentors and people I look up to, and it's going to be like a frame, right? Because the trick behind that is just, in my mind, like, I look up to them and it's like they're watching me work, right? They're watching. It's like I'm a protege. They're watching me really implement what they teach. So Grant Cardone, he taught me sales. He really taught me what I could become if I applied myself. Like, what's my end goal? Like, where he was is where I wanted to be. So he really got my mind thinking big. The 10X rule, that was the first book I read from him. And it really showed me that, I wasn't operating at a level of action that would get me to my goals. So let's say Grant Cardone, who else? Recently, Andy Frisella, right? Andy Frisella, this man, like, I'm where I'm at right now, health-wise, because of him. Mentally, also because of him, right? Because if I wasn't following his podcast, the motherfucking CEO Project, is literally called the MFCEO Project, right? The best podcast. It's the #1 podcast in business for a reason. It's the fucking best, right? It gets your minds. And now it's not for wussies, by the way. Like, if anyone watching, like, no offense, if you get offended easily, don't watch it. You will get offended from the first words out of this man's mouth, right? Because there's no ads on it. He doesn't get paid to do it. When somebody doesn't get paid to do something, they just fucking speak their mind, right? They just say what they want to say, because it's like, I don't need to please anyone. I'm not getting paid for this, right? I'm just gonna say what's on my mind, right? So after watching the podcast, I started the challenge he's been doing. He was like on day 40, and just when he was speaking about like the level of grit and the mentality that you develop of a freaking killer, of a CEO, right? The confidence. When I saw that, I'm like, and I was fat, bro. Like, I was literally 230 to 240 pounds, a fat boy, like literally fat, feeling depressed, having breathing problems, feeling slow, never committing to anything, never freaking committing to anything. I hated it, bro. The only other time I felt like that was when I lost everything, homeless, and I had to face myself in the mirror and tell myself I was disappointed. Tell myself, dude, you're a fucking loser, right? That's the last time I felt like that, and I started feeling like that again, right? Despite all the success. Guys, this is what you don't see, by the way. Like, there's a lot of people that pretend on social media. This is what you don't see behind the curtains, right? What happens behind? Yeah, sure, I'm making money, right? Sure, I have all these opportunities. But at that time, and this was about a month ago, right? So a month ago, and for the last probably 5 months, except for this month, when now I'm feeling like amazing, right? I started feeling like a loser again. I never committed to anything, right? I started gaining weight, right? And sure, everything looked good, but it wasn't good, right? It wasn't good, right? Because forget the money. Look, the money, I have the skills to make money anywhere I'm at, right? So I'm not worried about the money, but I felt like shit, right? I felt like shit. And that's why that's why I speak so strongly about, Andy Frisella. Everyone here should listen to his podcast. Go to his YouTube, search up his name, and pick a topic that just speaks to you. Pick one of the topics and listen to it, right? And the best thing you can do for your life health-wise, and if you're lacking confidence, is start the challenge, right? Start the challenge. It gets your mindset to where it is. So Grant Cardone, for the money and sales, he introduced me. Andy Frisella for the mindset. He's the guy that has helped me mentally and health wise, and really has given me that bottled enthusiasm, that confidence to do whatever the hell I want, right? Because I prove it. He taught me that confidence is earned. He taught me that success is earned. He taught me that everything you want in life is earned. And he also taught me that everything you don't have in your life that you want, you're responsible for. You're responsible. You got to go make it happen. Don't go blaming somebody else on why you can't do something, because you're in control of your own being. I can't control what my mom does. I can't control what my little sister does. I can't control what my best friend thinks or says. I'm not them. But you know what I can't control? What am I thinking? What am I feeding myself mentally every day? What am I feeding myself physically every day? Right? What are the words coming out of my mouth? Am I sounding like a winner? Right? Or am I sounding like a loser? Right? The words that come out of my mouth are a direct reflection of what's in here. Right? Where do you think words come from? From your head, right? From you. So I pay attention. I'm paying attention to what I'm saying, to make sure that I'm congruent with what's in here. And the moment I start hearing victim talk for myself, oh man, I didn't work out today because it started raining, I catch myself and I'm like, pause, get your ass out there and go work out. You know why? Because Grant Cardone is watching me right now. Andy Frisella is watching me right now. And I know I will not disappoint my mentors. I will perform, right? So those are my role models, man. For now, 3: Grant Cardone, Andy Frisella, Jordan Belfort. Jordan, yeah, he's the guy that has the most fucked up past of all of them.
Controversial.
Yeah, but the way he's been turning his life around, and dude, he has one of the best sales training. Imagine I'm a professional salesman, so I can tell instantly bullshit from things that work, because I call people every day. I'm in the field. I know what works and I know what doesn't work, right? So after going through his training, it's legit. It's actually really good. It's the best sales training I've gone through. Only second to Grant Cardone, right? And he's giving it away for $20 a month, dude. It's $20 a month. And I'm like, holy, dude, you already know, dude, I made over $4,000 2 days ago. $4,000 in a day. In the last 7 days, I've grossed above $10,000 in sales. And I contribute that to Grant Cardone, Cardone University, and Jordan Belfort's The Wolf Network. Together, if I was missing even one of them, I probably wouldn't have done it, because they filled in the gaps for me, right? So I just look up to Jordan for the fact that this man, like, he turned his life around. He has great training. He's giving away practically for free. And I respect the fact that he's one of the guys that has created the most millionaires, right? The millionaire salespeople out of any other sales trainer. The only guy second to that is Grant Cardone, who has also created millionaire salespeople within his own company, right? So I just look up to them, bro. Like, right, you have to choose. You have to be careful. Like, who do you look up to, right? Have they actually built a business? Do they actually do what they say they do? That's why dude, I don't like these fly-by-night internet gurus that you see on advertisements and all that. Like, dude, I take what they say with like a grain of shit. Like, I just don't, like, I'm like, cool, so what have you built? Let me look at your other businesses. Did you make your money selling courses, or did you make your money actually doing what you say you're selling in the course? Like, if you're going to teach me about e-commerce, did you make all your money through e-commerce? Then you decided, you know what? Let me sell a course. Or did you make your money selling e-commerce courses and you've never done e-commerce, right? Like, do your due diligence on people before you learn from them. Like, I don't want, now I'm fucking qualified to teach people about sales, because I do sales every day. I do it every day, right? I do it every day. I back up what I say. Now, can I teach you how to be a millionaire? Hell no, I can't. I'm not a millionaire. I haven't gotten there yet, right? Yeah, I could tell you now. I listen to multimillionaires. Andy Frisella, the man's worth over $100 million. Grant Cardone, the man's worth over $100 million. Jordan Belfort has built a business past $100 million. He used to be worth over $100 million, right? So yeah, I listen. I'm developing the mindset, but I'm not fucking there. I'm not going to sell you some bullshit and tell you, give me $10,000 if I haven't been there yet, because that's treasonous. That's lying, and that catches up to you, right? So you need to do due diligence So short answer, bro. Those are my 3 role models currently: Andy Frisella, Grant Cardone, Jordan Belfort. Those are the guys I listen to all their content, materials, books, podcast, everything.
You know what? I absolutely love that because someone else could be just like, oh, these are my 3 role models and that's that. But you actually painted a picture behind it on why they're your role models. So you actually answered my question before me having to even ask you
Cool.
the other question. You're killing it, bro. Being the first interview as well. Thank you, man. This is pure
No
value. I'm
problem.
feeling the value just watching, being the host as well, and interviewing you. What I want to ask you, did you get any transferable skills from school? Would you say you learned anything from school? You know, did you go
Dude,
university? Did we miss
no,
something? Is
no,
there a
no.
bridge?
No, man, after high school, like, school is only good for one thing. I'll be honest. Like, I'm not going to say school is just completely useless.
Yeah.
It's good for teaching you how to socialize with others, right? Because there's a lot of kids who are homeschooled and they don't have friends. Like, think of it, bro. I wouldn't, my best friend, we known each other for now going on 13, 14 years, right? Like, we known each other since we were little brats, like little middle school brats. But now we're brothers. Like, now we support each other. Like, if he ever needs me, I'm there, money wise, emotionally, whatever. And he's the same for me. If he ever needs a place if he loses his house, I'll be the first one to tell him, come over here, bro. Come here for a couple months, right? And he'll do this. His family will do the same for me, right? So if it wasn't for school, I wouldn't have met my best friends that I have right now. I wouldn't have met, I wouldn't have gotten into fitness, right? I got into fitness in high school. Now I dropped off from it, but I wouldn't have. I knew that I had it in me to do this challenge. That's what really pushed me to do it. I knew I had it in me because I've done it before, right? So school taught me that. School taught me, so socializing. It taught me about fitness. It also taught me a lot about, where I lacked, right? I was a very shy kid in school. I was very, very shy. So knowing that after high school, I knew that to function in the real world, I have to overcome that shyness. Cause, dude, where does money come from? Transacting with other people. If you're not good with people, then, like, dude, like, people tell me all the time, oh, Sam, this is going a little off topic, but it's gonna loop back. They tell me this, oh, Sam, I don't want to talk to anyone, so I just want to learn, like, e-commerce or Facebook ads. Well, dude, who do you think are buying your products? People. If you have no people skills, guess what? A guy like me who does have people skills, I'm also going to get into e-commerce. My advertisements are going to be way better than yours, and I'm going to make sure that your shop crashes and burns and that all your customers go to me, right? That go to me. Right? Because guess what? That's who you're competing with, ladies and gentlemen. That's who you're competing with. You're competing with people that are winners, right? People that are they'll take everything from you and they'll sleep peacefully at night, right? You're not sure they're gonna do it ethically. They're not just gonna screw you. I don't really want to burn down your store, right? Because you might have a family and all that. I don't really want to do that. But that's the mentality. Kill, kill, kill. Look at this right here. You guys think I'm kidding? Let me show you something. Look at Andy Frisella, the number one, the first page in the planner. Kill, kill, kill. If I'm inside of a freaking arena between me and somebody else, and it's life or death, I'm living. I'm coming out of there alive, no matter what it takes. Right? Kill, kill, kill. That's who you're fighting with, right? And that loops back. Like, school also taught me a little bit about competition. Now, not to the level I know about it now, but it did teach me about competition. Right? Because you're constantly competing with grades and in sports and PE and all that stuff. Now notice those skills, like, those are the only skills I got, right? Everything else, math, geography, this, dude, I don't even know all the states in America. Why the fuck would I need to know that? I can go on Google and that's it. Why would I need to know that? That does not serve me. Why do I need to know algebra, dude? I can literally search up an algebra equation on the fucking internet and boom, instantly. Somebody smarter than me in algebra has the answer, and there we go. They have the answer. Like, how the fuck? That doesn't, dude, like, to make money, all you need is a fucking calculator and the keys you see here. Division, multiplication, subtraction, addition. That's all you need to make money. That's business, right? Like, it irks me, man, because a lot of people, they have it all twisted. So school is not useless. I would still have your kids go through school so they can learn how to socialize, They can learn how to socialize, and they can learn how to actually make their best friends. They'll find their best friends there, right? But then after that, let them do what they want, right? That's the only thing I got from school. So I hope that answers your question, man. A little long-winded there.
No, it did. I'm just seeing Heather said, but you needed education to know what all those buttons in the calculator are.
To be honest, I'll be honest, Heather. Like, if I saw other people calculate, here's the thing, guys. I'll be honest, Heather. Like, I don't agree with that. I have my little 6-year-old who's never used a calculator that knows how to use a calculator on the phone, right? Like, dial in some numbers, or go on Google, or no, better yet, she asked me, who knows how to do it, teach her how to do it, and boom, she instantly learned, right? She instantly learned, right? So that we live in a new world, guys. We don't live in a world without the internet. We have to get comfortable knowing that we live in a world that has the internet. Things are different now. Things are different, right? They're different. Kids can literally learn anything from professionals on the internet. Like, can you imagine if somebody wants to learn sales or wants to learn business, instead of spending $40,000 to go to a college to teach them business from a professor that's making $40,000 a year that doesn't even have a business, they can actually pay $1,000 from somebody that actually owns a business to take them under their wing and teach them what they need to do in the real world. The real world. Guys, the school system needs to change. And I'm not the one saying this, by the way. Gary V is saying this. Andy Frisella, Grant Cardone. I guarantee the millionaires that you're following say the same thing. The school system has to change. It's old. It's dinosaur age. It's pre-internet. It's literally operating at pre-internet levels, right? And it's just trying to give people general knowledge when the real world, no one gives a shit about your general knowledge. I don't care if you know about fucking dinosaurs. How the hell does that benefit me? How does that benefit you? They're dead, right? They're dead. Why don't you show me how to make money? Why don't you show me sales? Show me something that works in the real world, right? Like, hey, some people will be offended from this. I'm telling you, some people aren't ready for the real talk, but this is reality. Like, I'm not here. Like I said, guys, when you're not getting paid for something, you just freaking speak. You just say what's on your mind, right? Because I don't care if I offend anyone. I know 50% of the people are going to be like, holy shit, he's actually speaking the truth. And 50% are going to be like, screw this Sam guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about, whatever, right? And you know what? So be it, right? I'm not here to please people.
Do you know, you're speaking nothing but the truth. I was sitting in the library before I got back into my car, and there was a gentleman sitting next to me, and he was telling me he's looking for a job. He's been looking for a job for coming up to a month now. And he's of an age of about 50 going on 60. And I said to him, well, what did you do before? Guess what he did? He was a lecturer in a university. And I said to him, oh, so I said, do you feel that they paid you your value, your actual real value? Because why are you now here looking for a job when you've retired?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not able to make ends. He's not able to make ends.
Dude, good teachers, I'm going to say this right. Great teachers are underpaid today. Like, dude, I've had great teachers at school that they were big time underpaid. Like, they literally helped mold my brain. Like, I do contribute some of what I know to my psychology teacher, my philosophy teacher, who gave me permission to actually question things and gave me permission to open my mind up. And he was very open-minded. Like, great teachers are underpaid. I'll fully agree with that. Fully underpaid, right? Because they're literally molding the next generation. And actually, I want to give respect where respect is due. Something Heather said was very true. If it wasn't for school, I wouldn't know how to read. So I'll say that as well. So school, that's another skill that I'm very grateful for. Like, guys, I don't hate school. Like, I agree that school taught me some stuff, how to socialize, how to read. It taught me how to, it taught me a lot of good life skills. But in terms of notice that's everything outside the classes. Do you understand that? Except for reading. But everything else was outside class. It taught me skills. Inside class, dude, school teaches you be quiet when somebody else is talking, or be quiet when there's, it just teaches you how to be a dog in a cage, right? Like, there's some things I hate about it. Like, look, I'll be straight up. There are some things in school that I absolutely hate, but there are some things in school I love. And great teachers, and Heather, I love you. That's awesome. I'm going to guess Heather's a great teacher as well. Great teachers, like, they got my heart, right? They deserve more because they're the ones that are going to instill those seeds inside the brains of the little kids. And those little kids later on may become entrepreneurs. They may create the next business that employs thousands of people and gets people off of the streets. They may be the philanthropist who, you know, helps kids in Africa or helps combat homelessness, right? It's up to the teachers. Like, that's why teachers that are getting underpaid deserve to be fired immediately. I don't care. And this is going to sound ruthless. I don't care what their situation's like. They should be fired, right? Because they're literally they're literally doing psychological massacre, psychological murder on our kids, right? Because they're lazy and they're just there to earn a paycheck. Great teachers should be getting like 6-7 figure incomes, right? If they're great, and they should strive to be great, right? So that's another topic, man. We can move on from there, but I think I spoke all my thoughts when it comes to school. So
No,
school,
you definitely did.
it served its purpose, right? But it's not the reason why I'm at where I'm at.
So after school, did you go university? What happened after school?
Played video games for 2 years, wasted my life.
Okay.
Yeah, Bread
You
Factory,
missed nothing.
blew all my money, and then we got
Okay.
Now we can fast forward that. 2 years after that, like 2 years after that point,
Yes.
so from 18 all the way to 21, I think it was 3 years, whatever. From 18 to 21, at 21 years old, you know, we went to a period of homelessness, and you know, we lost everything, and I had to face myself in the mirror and really tell myself, Sam, I'm disappointed. Literally telling myself, you're a fucking loser, right? I had to confront the beast. That was the truth. Like, Sam, you're a loser. Like, dude, how could you even let this happen? Well, like, and Grant Cardone, I was already following Grant Cardone at that time. And Grant Cardone would have told me too, like, come on, man. I was just like you at 25. Like, eating shit, doing nothing, failing. Come on. And because of that, I got a job. I got the job again at the bread factory. We talked to my mom talked to her boyfriend. They hooked me up with the job again. And from that point on, right, when I went into that bread factory, by the way, I still had that feeling when I first started trading of entrepreneur, like, man, I'm making my own money from home. That instilled a seed in my mind that, dude, that's what I want to do. I really want to do, right? So I came into that bread factory with the mentality of, I'm going to put my head down. I'm going to study. I'm going to read every single lunch break from that first week all the way to 7-8 months down the line. Every week I was listening to audiobooks. I was reading. I was studying at home. I was buying programs on how to make money online. And just, even though some of those programs made a little bit of money, some of them didn't make me money. I was in the game. I had skin in the game as I was in the factory so that I could actually prepare myself for the big play. Does that make sense? Like, skin in the game. So if you want a good example I like to use, if let's say there's a football player and the football player, he wants to join the NFL, what he should be doing before he's in the NFL, he should be studying the plays as a coach. Like the NFL players study their film, their games. He should be studying the games as if he was a part of the team, and then studying this guy could have done this, and this is what I could have done, and the coach probably said this, and then he would also be out every single day for at least 30 minutes to an hour. He would be studying NFL drills, like warming up drills, right, and studying how to tackle, and he would be joining the local football team so he can actually get experience on the field and get his feet wet, right? And then eventually, guess what? He has warmed up for the big play. That's why guys, when I look at successful people, I have nothing but the utmost respect for them, because other people see where they are now and they're like, oh, that guy's lucky. I want to be just like him, yada, yada. You know what I see, having gone through all that stuff and still going through it? I see all the work. I see all the glass that he stepped on, he or she stepped on. I see all the shit. I see all the depression that they probably went through certain times in their growth. I see all this. I see, you know that picture with the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg, and then everything you don't see. I
Yep.
see what people don't see, what it actually took for them to reach that success, right? So going back to the bread factory, having that mentality was powerful, because no matter how hard the work got for 10 to 14 hours, some days were 14-hour days. I just kept going. I kept going. I showed up. I just showed up Monday through Saturday, showed up, right? Monday through Friday in the beginning. We'll talk about the Saturdays in a second. Monday through Friday for 12 to 14 hours, 10 hours minimum. It was good money for me, right? At the time, it was hard ass work because it was only 2 employees, but it was good money. So I was just putting money away. And I was living off of $20 a week. $20 a week. because I had a goal in mind. I knew that I don't know what I want to do yet, but I know it's going to take money. I'm not like one of those dumb people. Like, guys, this is idiocy. People that think that they don't need money to do stuff. That's I don't even think being an idiot is the right word. It's being what do you call it? Ignorant. That's
Ignorant,
being
yeah.
ignorant, right? That's ignorance if you think you're going to get anywhere without money, right? Guys, money is energy. In order to get the money, you have to expend energy. And when I see somebody that has a lot of money, I don't see the money. You know what I see? I see the commitment that it took to even accumulate that money. I see the self-discipline that it took to not blow the money, to actually accumulate that money. I see the what you don't see from the tip of the iceberg. That's what I see, right? So it takes money. If you don't have money, it's because you're lacking somewhere. You're lacking either in commitment, you're lacking in discipline, you're lacking somewhere. You have to pinpoint what it is, where it is that you're lacking, and you have to do something about it. Then the money comes. The money comes after. You have to fix you first. I knew that, by the way. I hated myself when I started the factory. I was coming from a place in my heart where I was disappointed, right, with who I was as a person. So I knew I had to rebuild my confidence in myself. I had to rebuild myself from scratch. And that's why I started saving money, living off of $20 a week. I started, just putting my head down. And after 4 to 5 months of trying out different programs on how to make money, having some success here, no success there, and just saving up money, I finally found somebody who's a multimillionaire that, now we both know him as Darren Little. And when I spoke with him, I told him, I just straight up told him my situation. I saw a webinar from that. I was on a webinar. I was trying to remember. It was like a year ago. So I was on a webinar with him talking, and it just all made sense to me. Like, after all the books I read, it made sense what he was speaking about. Oh, this is how the seven figures make money. They have an ATM machine in the front, so they have a vehicle, an opportunity in the front that can fund everything else. So if I want to buy a house, I'm just not gonna go straight up and buy the house. I'm gonna go buy either an opportunity, a business, or an investment that's gonna pay for the house. That's gonna buy the house for me, right? Because now the vehicle, even after I buy the house, is gonna keep making me money, and now I have the house, right? And that's the seven-figure formula. You get a vehicle, you learn how to use it, and the vehicle will buy you what you want, right? And it just made sense. It was like, duh, it just makes sense. I remember reading in Rich Dad Poor Dad, one of the books I was reading at the factory. That's what Robert Kiyosaki meant. That's what he talked about, right? But now Darren, he said it in such a way that I really got it. It clicked for me, right? So I reached out to him after the webinar and I said, hey, look, Darren, what is it going to take for me to for you to mentor me? I'm working at a bread factory. Dude, like, I've gone through some failure, some success, but I just don't like where I'm at right now. And he walked me through the script that you and I both know to heart, Andrew. He walked me through the script on Messenger. And he just told me, so Sam, dude, it's going to take $1,350. Now let's pause. I didn't have that money, right? Because I was living off of $20 a week, and I was saving as much money as I could after paying rent, after helping my mother, which wasn't a lot of money to start with, right? I was saving up at most maybe like $50 a month, right? Like, it was bad. I was just saving up as much as I could. So he told me that how much it was going to cost. I didn't have the money. Now, I thank my lucky stars. Now when I look up, I look up at the sky and I just think of God. Like, this is what gets me to believe in God, right? Like, I thank God that I had the mindset to keep learning. Because there's two types of scenarios that could have happened when he told me how much money it was going to cost. I could have been a fucking loser, and I could have said, there's no way I'm going to do it. I'm just going to settle for less. I'm going to find another mentor that, is charging maybe $100, or I'm going to, like, loser talk, right? I could have been a loser and just had that mentality of scarcity of, well, I can't get the best. I'm just going to settle for second, right? I'm just going to settle for number 10 instead of number 1. I didn't have that mindset. Thankfully, I had the mindset through all the books that I've read and the knowledge I've gained. I had the mindset of actually saying, you know what? I told Darren, I don't have the money now, but give me time. I'm getting the money. I will get the money. Give me time. And from that point on, You know, I really started holding, like, it took me about 7 to 8 months. And I had to change my lifestyle. Like, some of the things I was spending $20 a week, $5 of that was on lottery tickets, right? Every single week. So I stopped buying lottery tickets. I stopped going out to eat. I would literally bring food from home. And I started saving money there. I started there were some months where I would tell my mom, "Hey mom, like, could I pay $50 less for rent?" Right? And she would give it to me. Right? And then I would just save. I would save that money away. Right? I just did whatever it took, and I just started saving money, saving money. After 7, 8 months, I finally went up to him. I said, "Look, Darren, I got the money. Give me a second." That same day, I went to my boss. I thanked him. So I did not blow my boss off. I thanked him just for, for giving me the job, bro. Like, he could have given that factory job to any other young guy, but he gave it to me. So I gave him a hug. I thanked him. We had a nice heart to heart moment there. Like, dude, like, thank you so much. Like, you don't understand how much you've helped me with this job. We've had our differences. We've argued throughout this whole time. We've had arguments back and forth, but, like, I consider you a friend. And I got his phone number. We took a selfie together so I can save it on my phone. And I parted ways. And the next day, I was at my dad's house. I told Darren, give me the link. Gave me the link. I paid $1,350. That was all. I went all in, by the way. I burned all the bridges, all in. As in, I had 42 cents in my bank after that. Like, you see, a smarter Sam would have probably maybe spent, like, an extra month at the factory, so I don't have just 1,350. I would have at least $2,000, right? And I wouldn't be at ground zero. But then a part of me says, what if the fact that I took myself almost to zero, what if that contributed to my $23,000 month? Like, see, these are things I think about. Like, that's just life. Like, you just don't know what's going to happen. Like, so many things could have gone differently, but I'm just glad it went the way it did. Because when I got started with Millionaire Mentoring, with my first vehicle, I got my first vehicle. It could have been anything, but my first vehicle, I made $4,000 my first week. I made a whole month salary in my first week, right? And then from there, the sky was the limit. I made $10,000 in the first 10 days. I made $23,000 in the first month. I made over $100,000 in the first year. And now I'm a professional salesman that I can choose all my hours. I can do whatever the hell I want. And I close sales for influencers. I'm doing what I love. I love sales. I love selling. I just love it. And now I'm living my passion. I can do this for the rest of my life. I'm doing what I already know what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And I know I'm going to be number one in every company. Like, when this Black Ops Live thing comes out, dude, like, I'm gunning for the number one spot, and not by just a little bit. Like, I want the guy number two to have $100,000, and I want me to be at $1 million. Like, I want to be so far away from number two that they're just like, shit. Like, there's no, you know what? It's official, guys. Sam is number one. There's no way we're going to be. Like, that's where I'm going to be, right? I'm going to work my ass off. Like, and not only that, I'm closing sales for other influencers. There's other sales guys that the influencer has hired on as well. Guess who's number one right now? Me, baby, right? I'm number one. I'm shooting for no. You know why? Because little do they know, this is where I'm operating from. Kill, kill, kill. Now, do I coach the other beginner salespeople who don't have as much experience as me? Yes, I do coach them. We're a part of the same team. I do coach them. I do teach them what I'm doing. I record all my calls so they can listen in on the calls that I close and they can learn from it. But unless they're overperforming, unless they're operating, unless they're operating at the same level, they won't beat me, right? I won't let them. And if they do beat me, then I'm going to sit back down and I'm going to add another 100 calls onto what I'm already doing. I'm going to add more, because the secret to success is frequency, right? If somebody is more frequent than me, they're going to get more than me. So I have to be more frequent than them, right? And it's just a constant battle. Some people, by the way, Andrew, they don't like to have to keep battling. To them, that sounds like they don't like that battle. But guess what? That's why they're not number one. That's why they're the ones that are number 10. You know what? They want to be number 10. Go be number 10. I'm not going to be number 10 because the difference in income between number 10 and number one is in the millions, multi-millions. It's just different, right? It's the difference between me driving a Rolls Royce and you driving a fucking beat up 1998 Chevrolet, right? Like, it's the difference. That's the difference between number 10 and number one, right? I thrive from that constant battling. I'm battling with all these other guys. I'm going to make it to the top. I'm number one. I'm going to get it there. I'm kill, kill, kill. Right. So that's where I'm at now, bro. That's basically where I'm at now, more mature, year down the line. I'm at the start of my career. last year was like a trial ground, learning how to make money, learning how to manage money. I blew some money, right? I think I blew multiple 5 figures last year easily, on shit, right? Like just on making mistakes. And now I'm a lot more wiser. So now I'm truly starting my career in sales. And I'm setting the pace for the rest of my life. So that's where I'm at right now.
You've been a phenomenal guest. You've brought so much value. I'm sure everyone would agree. If you've got any questions, even if it's on a replay, throw a question for Samuel.
Questions.
Those of you that are watching live, throw a question. I mean, you answered questions before I could even ask you the questions. That's out of
Dude,
this
I
world.
have yeah, I'm sorry about that. I apologize, dude.
That's
I
fine.
do that
That's
a lot.
brilliant. That,
I do
you've
that a
covered
lot.
way more. No, that's brilliant. You've made an excellent guest. You brought nothing but value. You shared the stuff that probably some people don't even realize what it takes to be at the top level, where you're at right now. Like with this whole group, this is what this group's about. I've spoken to so many people. This group should be about 150 to 200 people in there.
Cool.
But you know what? You got to get used to rejection, which one thing we didn't really touch on, but that's something that we need to be used to getting rejection.
Well, maybe you didn't ask. You gotta ask the questions, man.
I didn't. So I want to leave it for anyone else who wanted to ask questions. But Heather's been like awesome value. Andy said awesome value. You've covered so much.
Cool.
That would be probably we'll have to do another live to just cover that question, because you don't just touch on it just like a little bit. You really do answer the question. That there's nothing left. You smash.
How long do we got? It's like 54. We got 6 minutes. 6 minutes before an hour. Yeah, before an hour. So let's do this. Those of you watching live, do you guys want us to touch up on a little bit on rejection? Yes or no? If it's up, or do you want to watch it on another live? Let the people watching decide, and then we'll go from there. We got 6 minutes. Then I got to train. I got another hour of training.
We'll watch again on the replay. We've got Arneen said, hey, hello Arneen, Heather, Andy, Chris. They said yes, rejection. What? Yes, on another live? Hold on a second. What's going on?
Yeah, Heather, be specific. Or why not both?
Or why not both? Do it.
Arneen says do it.
They probably want to watch us all night long.
All right, how long we got?
All
right, let's cover it. Let's do this. I'm gonna briefly touch up on it, and then you can just do a more in-depth discussion on it later on, right? So we'll just briefly touch up on rejection. So what would be the question, Andrew? Like, how do you face rejection, or have I faced rejection? Like, what would be the question?
The question would be, how do you deal with rejection?
Got it. The best advice, the number one advice I can give right off the bat: don't take it personal. Too many people take rejection personal. When somebody tells me no, like, they're not telling no to me. Like, whenever I tell somebody, let's say I go up to Heather and I'm like, Heather, look, I can help you make, I can teach you the skills to make tens of thousands of dollars per month. It's going to cost you $1,350 though for you to get the vehicle that I used, right? If Heather says, Sam, like, I want to do it, but I can't, she tells me no, that's not saying no to me. She's just saying no, she can't, herself, she can't do it right now, right? Either because of money, timing, or whatever. But she's not saying no to me. She's just saying no to my current offer. So what if I offered her something for $20 that would help her do what she wants to do? Would she buy it? Oh, look, she bought it. All right, there we go. She said yes. Right? I don't take it personal. No means no to the product, no to the offer, or no to herself. No, she's not ready for it yet. No, she doesn't want to do it. It's never to you. It's never to you. So you have to stop taking rejection personal. The next thing I can say about how to deal with rejection, because I deal with it every day. I do a lot of calls every day, right? So I do deal with some rejection. I just shrug it off. So when somebody tells me, there was somebody that said, I asked them the closing question, and they're like, Sam, like, I don't have the money. And I'm like, no problem. Do you like the idea? Or I'm with you. Do you like the idea? Does the idea make sense to you? Oh yeah, it does make sense. I do like the idea, Sam. Like, this is something I really want to do. Okay, so something one of my mentors taught me once was, when we say a statement that we can't do something, that cuts off all the thought from our brains. But if we ask a question on how we can do something, we end up getting an answer. So just out of curiosity, hypothetically, if you were to somehow come up with a way to get the money, How would you go about it? How would you do it? Now they're thinking, how would they do it? Now they're actually going to come up with it, right? Like I shrug it off. If I told my best friend, hey bro, you want to go to the theaters? To watch that new movie on the Avengers or whatever. And he's like, nah, dude, honestly, I don't feel like going anywhere today. I get you, man. You know, it's raining outside. I get exactly where you're coming from. Have you heard of the Avengers? Have you read reviews on it? Yeah, I have. Have you been able to do like what do you think about it? It's pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah, and do you want to watch it eventually? Yeah, I do want to watch it eventually, dude. How about let's do this? Are you doing anything tomorrow? Are you doing anything in next Saturday? Oh no, I'm not. All right, done. Let's do it. Let's go next Saturday, bro. And we'll go, right? And I'll close them for next Saturday. But I just shrug it off and I present solutions. Shrug off, present solution. Or if no is no, where like it's literally like, dude, I just do not want to watch it. No problem, dude. I'm with you. And now I'm gonna go ask somebody else who does want to watch it. Why? Because I keep my pipeline full, right? I have an abundance of people to call. I have an abundance of friends. I have an abundance of everything, right? And I keep on building that abundance, right? Because if no is no, dude, no problem. Look, I understand, dude. You definitely don't want to watch it, right? What do you got planned for today, man? And that's it. We'll go from there. And now I'm going to go to somebody else and ask them if they want to watch it. Same conversation. You ask enough people, you're going to get a couple yeses, right? Like you're going to get a couple yeses if you ask enough people. Why? Because what's the secret to success? Frequency. Frequency, right? You're facing a lot of rejection, then you're probably hitting rookie numbers. Up your frequency. And you'll eventually start getting some yeses in between those no's. And those yeses make up for the no's. Because guess what? If I call 100 people and I get 99 no's, but one yes, I just made $2,000 within 2 hours. Was that worth it? I just made $500 an hour. Was that worth it? I think so.
Oh yeah.
So it's just the way you look at it. It's just the way you look at rejection. That's how I handle it. I look at it differently. And it's not. This was something that was learned, by the way, right? Like I learned this through experience and through Andy Frisella, Grant Cardone, Jordan Belfort. Or like I learned this through the lives of the people I look up to, and then through my own life experience. So that's the best advice I could give when it comes to rejection.
Pretty good advice. Really good advice. Anyone want any more advice from Samuel? How do you deal? Oh, snap, AJ. I think I answered Heather's question. I'm loving this live. Heather said, how do you deal? Love that. Awesome. No, absolutely
Yeah,
brilliant.
you just said,
Brilliant
how do you
live.
deal?
How do you
How do you
deal?
deal?
How do you deal? Amazing advice. Amazing advice, Heather's saying. No, you've been an excellent guest, man. You've been awesome.
Cool,
You
man.
know what?
We had an hour of power, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. I mean, let's just have a look and see what else. I'm loving this live. Yes, what we got here. I mean, that's the thing, because like with this group, for those of the people that's here at the moment, what we're at 29, you've made it 30. I've got a vision that it's going to be the biggest group on Facebook, the best network group on Facebook, where everyone can just network and move around, network, and people know who they're interacting with, because you have to give a picture, you have to give your bio for reasons being. So when people see it, they're looking through, they're getting instant rapport with who's in the
Yeah.
group automatically.
Yeah. You know what we should
That,
do right now, bro? For the next 2
yeah,
minutes
yes.
before we leave. I'm gonna leave it this because I really gotta go after this.
No, you've been
Um,
brilliant.
I'm gonna ask you a couple questions that I want other people to ask themselves for their own thing, because you want to be other people that also want to be number one in whatever they're doing. Here's good question to ask yourself. So I'm gonna ask you first, Andrew, just because you told me the example of the group. Do you know who the number one group is? Do you know what the number one group is in leadership on Facebook already?
I need to do research on that.
All right, so that's number one. You need to find out, because if you don't know who's number one, how do you know if you're even number one? Like you might think you're number one and you're actually number 20, right? And number one is like way ahead. So you need to look at who's number one, how many members do they have? So number one might have, the number one leadership group might have 200,000 members, right? So to be number one, you have to have more than that. You have to have 210, 220, right? Then you need to find out, all right, so they have 200,000 members. How many members do I have to get per month to reach that in 2 years, or to reach that in a year?
Oh, someone's called Samuel.
Heather or back. So how many members do you have to, like, do the math on it? Get a calculator, do the math. So if I want to do it in a year, right? If I do 200,000 divided by 12 months, that gives me 16,666 members per month. That's what I have to be doing per month to pass them in a year, right? Now, that's pretty freaking hefty in a year. So now you have to get creative. If you're sold that you got to do that in a year, then you need to ask yourself, with what you're currently doing now, could you get 16,666? Chances are the frequency has to be more than you. You might have to hire some people. You might have to like start working with influencers and ask them, hey, look, can I pay you $100 to give me a shout out for the group? Like you have to get really creative because 16,000, dude, not even I could do that alone. I could not do that alone. I would need to start hiring people.
Yeah, Heather says there he goes with his calculator. He doesn't need school. Ha 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 ha.
I'm telling you, Heather, like you're gonna think of me, Heather. Like, tell me this, Heather. When it comes to paying your rent or doing your expenses, did you whip out an algebra formula? Did you whip out some calculus to do it? I don't think you did. I wouldn't believe you. I believe that you literally said, all right, I made $2,000 this month. I'm paying $1,200 in rent minus $1,200. I'm paying another $600 in food and utilities. I'm left with $200. I'm gonna put that in the bank, right? Like that's simple. Addition, subtraction, division, or multiplication. Very simple. It's very simple stuff, right? Like
Andy's saying, boom, great advice. Heather says, she's shit at maths. Oh, okay.
Oh, cool. All right, so that's what I would do, bro. Andrew, like that's just direct advice to you to be number one. Like because I'm striving to be number one in what I'm doing in sales for the influencers, right? So we're both striving to be number one in our given field. So just from somebody, a winner to another winner, you need to get real serious. Like who's the number one in that? What are their numbers like? And what do you have to do? Like what actions do you have to take to surpass that number one spot? It may take you 5 years, right? You may have to do 200,000 divided by 5 years. How many months is that? 12 times 5, 60. So let's just do,
you know, that's brilliant
divided
advice.
by 60. All right, sis. So you're gonna have, if you want to do that in 5 years to get 200,000 members, you have to get 3,333 people per month. Now that's more doable. You can actually do that with maybe 2 or 3 extra people on your team if you're all doing it together. Maybe you can come up with some viral strategy and do giveaways. All right, guys, if you invite 5 people, if you have 30 people and each of those 30 people invite 5 people to participate on a giveaway, you've just grown your group by 150 people in one giveaway. Okay, now maybe I could do a bigger giveaway. You got to get creative to hit the number. But that's like me.
Interviewing like this every week with different people within the different industries, not just everyone within network marketing. So different people. So the next person is going to be, well, actually on the 27th, you're hearing this exclusive on the 27th of this month. I'm going to be actually a PR to the Daily Mail. So, which is the local, you've heard of the Daily Mail?
I think I have. I think I've seen a YouTube video with them. No, so, I think I've seen an advertisement.
A celebrity PR, basically, I'm going to be interviewing. And then I've got an influencer I'm going to be interviewing as well. So, yeah, I've got it all lined up. So there's going to be interviews every week, either on a Thursday or a Friday. But absolutely brilliant advice that you're giving. It's so true. The way I've been doing it at the moment is that when someone joins or they see the link, they have to tag like 5 friends or share the post. Tag 5 friends or share the post.
Cool.
See, I've got another.
All right, cool, man. So I got to bounce right now, bro. But because my dad's about to pick me up literally in probably an hour, and I have to finish my training.
It hasn't cut out. But you know what? Absolutely brilliant advice. Dude. Thank you for being an amazing guest, Samuel.
Thank you.
Samuel Mojica. You know, look him up, search him, find him. Do you want to share any links or anything about you?
No, man. Just if anyone's watching, they want to hear more of this type of value, just add me on Facebook. I'm at a point now where like I'm not really selling anything online, not yet. I might sell something later, but for now I'm just giving value because like, dude, I don't need to sell anything online right now. I'm closing sales for influencers. Like I don't have a lack of money or lack of abundance, right? So if you guys want to get more value I talk a lot about confidence. I talk a lot about winning. I talk a lot about sales, about marketing, making money, right? And just things that I'm learning on my journey. If you like those type of topics, just add me as a friend on Facebook and just follow my content, right? That's all I ask for.
There you go. There you go. You heard it from him.
Mm-hmm.
You heard it from the man, Samuel Mojica. Heather says, love this interview. Knew it was going to be fire. Anine says, thank
Cool,
you.
cool.
Great value, Anine saying. And I'm surprised we're still running. Facebook must like us for once, because usually,
I know, man.
here's
All right,
guys.
bro.
Happy
Take care,
Friday.
everyone. Take care, Andrew. Thanks, bro. I'm
Brilliant.
gonna hop out, but
Thank
you can
you.
keep talking if you
Thank
want, man.
you.
I'm out.
Yeah, I'll
See ya.
probably just keep talking if how long it keeps me running. Thank you for locking in. If you're watching on the replay, let me know you're watching on the replay. Let me know if you're watching on the live. You already know what this group is about. I'm gonna that is either an expert or a leader in whatever industry they're in. You already know what I'm about. You already know what I do. So don't even think, huh? How is Hansley Jones in this video? Has people added people in the group? I don't even know what's going on. So anyway, basically, it seems like people's being added in the group. But this video, just want to let you know that this isn't a one-off. Find the born leaders within you. This group is for you to network, to, to find maybe your client, maybe a business partner, maybe a customer. I've been on Facebook for some time now, and I'm talking like when Facebook first started, and Facebook has just become oversaturated with so many different groups, people throwing you in groups. This group is not a group where you can just drop someone in while they bypass questions. They have to ask 3 questions. Are they a leader? What's their current income? Just like what you've had to answer, and what's your dream income? Because no matter how much income you're earning, there's always another level. And as you heard from Samuel Mojica, he said, look, you've got to have that kill, kill, kill. And for me, I've always got to be number one in what I do. And this group is going to be one of the number one Facebook groups or networking groups in general. And not only is it going to be a Facebook group, it's a Facebook group, but the intentions that I have, my vision is for this to be an event. Find a born leader within you, because there's a leader within every single one of you. Even if you might not know or might not think there's always a leader in you. Thank you for watching. Absolutely been a pleasure. We made it happen. And if you want to ask any questions for Samuel, even though he's gone, still throw some questions in. Let me know what you thought of the video. And absolutely, this is what I do. This is what I love to do. Thank you, Samuel. I absolutely love to provide value. I love to just, do motivation. And I've been time and time again, just do it. Interview people. And the thing is, if you want to be the best in what you do, you have to have a mentor. You have to have a mentor. Whether you're a mentor. Let me have some water. I'm surprised this live is still going, so I'm just going to see how longer. You have to have a mentor. You have to have a coach. I know Samuel mentioned some people, but I don't personally know if they are his direct coach or he's just following them and watching them. But it's always good, as much as you've got that, you can watch people on YouTube, you can follow their training, which was brilliant advice that Samuel mentioned as well. You've got to take into account that you need someone who's accountable for you. Someone on YouTube cannot be accountable for you, but someone who you actually have that you're paying for. And you have to learn, you have to understand this. I've said this before. You have to invest in your personal development. There's many people that don't leave their ego at the door and take their ego everywhere. And I was one of those people, just dragging my ego everywhere and saying, hey, I can do it on my own. I don't need no help. I don't need no support. I'll do this. I can get this done. But trust me, listen, I'm not just giving you advice from nowhere, out of thin air. It's something that if you look at the people that you're watching, the Grant Condones, the Wolf of Wall Street, Gary Vee, Les Brown, Beyonce, Obama, Theresa May, they all have mentors. They all have coaches. They probably have a life coach, a speech coach, a fashion coach on what to wear. Tiger Woods dug himself out of the dirt. People throw dirt on his name, said he wouldn't be able to bounce back, but he bounced back. AJ, who got knocked out, and even though controversially, apparently they wanted to call off the fight, but they said, no, you still got to go ahead with the fight. AJ will bounce back because he's got that fighting spirit. Like Samuel said, kill, 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 or be killed. You've got to understand, you've got to do what others won't do to get what others can't do. And if you don't take action now in your life, someone else will take action for your life and you'll be working for them. So the worst thing that an entrepreneur could ever have happen to them is having to go back to a paycheck. One thing I refuse to do, and for those of you budding entrepreneurs, or for those of you that are already entrepreneurs and know the pain for us is to have to go back to return to a paycheck. That's the trap. If you really want to get out of your comfort zone, you've got to stretch yourself. Thank you for watching. I'm out.